Now, one thing that always comes up from potential clients is changing estate agents. If they've already been on the market with somebody else and they're still visible on the market with that other agent, they're concerned about, can they actually move? Are they legally allowed, and will they incur two fees from two different agents? Well, this is really important, and we're going to dive into it. So the good news is that even if you are on the market currently with another estate agent and you want to move to a different one, you absolutely can. But your starting point is referring to your estate agency contract. You will have had this at the time of instruction, and you will have had to sign and agree to your agent's terms. So if you can't find your copy, do get in touch with your agent and ask them for a copy, and they will happily send it over to you. From there, you will look at your contract length agreement. Now, for most, it's between 4 and 8 weeks, but there may be a condition on there which says that you have to wait for the first 4 weeks to pass before you can then give notice. It'll also have details on there as well about the required notice period. This is often around 30 days. So take a look at your contract, see what their notice requirements are and your contract length, and then act accordingly. So that could be sending them an email, giving them notice to withdraw. Now, your new agent will probably recommend that you take it off the market immediately with your existing agent. This is because properties need to rest from the market. Simply jumping from one agent to another is not really going to have a dramatic impact on your sale. You need to have a strategy in place with your new agent. So giving it a brief period of rest while you're getting set up with your new agent and serving out your notice period with your existing agent is really beneficial for both you and your property sale. So this may be bad news for some people. If you review your contract and find that your agency term is around 26 weeks and you're slap bang in the middle of it, you might have to serve out the rest of that contract. What I would recommend as your starting point is contacting the agent. See if they can resolve the issues you're having with them, or if you believe they're in breach of contract, submit a complaint to them showing where they're in breach and seeing if you can get released from that contract. Sometimes though, you do have to ride it out. The good news is that as the homeowner, you have every right to refuse viewings, and you have every right to request that it's taken off from public marketing. So the agent may just think, well, I've got a property on my books here, but I can't do viewings on it and I can't list it publicly for sale. So is there any point? We'll let them out of contract. Always have a conversation with your agent and always read through your contract very carefully. Your new agent may also be able to help you with your contract. It's, they're very similar from agent to agent, so do get your new agent to help you and they may be able to shed some light. Okay, let's say you've served out the end of your contract with your previous agent and you're ready to move to the new one. What next? Well, the first thing you need to get from your previous agent is the list of everybody they introduced to the property. And by introduced, I mean they showed around the property. They had a viewing with that current agent. The reason being is that there is often a clause in an estate agent's contract which says they have a period where they own that person they introduced. This period is often around 6 months. Let's imagine you've now been on the market with your new agent who you moved to for around 3 months. But Joe Bloggs, who viewed with your previous agent, has just come forward and made an offer. What does that mean for you? Well, it means that that buyer belongs to your previous agent. Remember that period of exclusivity where that viewer belongs to your previous agent for a period of time? So now you would go back to your previous agent and they would look after your sale through to completion, and your new agent wouldn't be entitled to a fee. That's why it's so important that you get that list of everybody who they have introduced and you hand it to your new agent so that they know from the offset straight away that if any of these people come forward to make an offer, they belong to the other agent. Okay, so now you know it is possible to change estate agents, and it's really not that scary and pretty simple to do. I would just want to say though that this advice has been based on assuming that you're in a sole agency agreement. That means you've only got one estate agent looking after your sale. I'm also not a solicitor and not legally trained in any way, so this does not constitute legal advice, and we accept no liability for what you choose to do acting on this advice. I do recommend you go and get legal advice if you're in any way confused or don't understand the terms of your contract. And again, ask your agent to explain it. I hope you found it helpful. In another video, I am going to be talking about different types of contracts you have with estate agents, which should hopefully give you some clarity before you instruct a new agent. I've got a whole series where I answer questions from buyers and sellers about the whole moving process. So I'll see you soon in another video.